Good evening, everybody. I'm going to call to order the Wednesday, May 20th, 2026 Board of Commissioners meeting. The time is officially 7:34 p.m. Welcome. We're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance, which I will do the honor. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. Manager Elliott, kindly call the roll.
Commissioner Marvin.
Present.
Commissioner Brockington.
Present.
Commissioner Cherico.
Here.
Commissioner Lewis.
Here.
Commissioner Norris.
Here.
Commissioner Stein. Here. And Commissioner Sharon Walks. Here.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Welcome. Next, we're going to have our solicitor, Mr. Diazio, do the Sunshine Act announcement.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. The board has met in executive session twice since the last public board meeting. Can you guys hear me?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. May 6th was our first executive session. We discussed a number of personnel items related to hiring for the several vacant positions that are currently open in the township. And then we had an executive session this evening, May 20th, that just ended a few moments ago. And we discussed the search for the next chief of police. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Diazio. Next on the agenda, item number 4 is public comment on agenda items. This is the time, as you know, when members of the public have an opportunity to provide public comment on anything on the agenda. And I ask that you limit it to items on the agenda. There will be other opportunities to provide public comment as we go through the various matters that we're going to vote on, and also at the end on at Citizens Forum. So if there's anyone, we'll start here in the Township Building. Is there anyone who would like to make a public comment on one of the agenda items? Apologize for having my back to everybody here. All right, seeing none. How about on Zoom tonight? Raise your hand if you'd like to be recognized for public comment on agenda items. Going once. Commissioner Lewis doesn't see any. All right, seeing none, we will close public comment on agenda items and move on. Again, there will be other opportunities for public comment on various items as we go through. Item number 5, approval of the Board of Commissioners regular meeting minutes dated April 22nd, 2026. I will so move. Any comments or questions? See none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Item number 6, acceptance of the executive summary financial report for the period ending March 2026. I so move. Any questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 7, acceptance of the accounts paid report for the period ending March 2026. It is so moved. Any questions or comments there? All right, seeing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Excellent. All right, on to the fun stuff. Item number 8. We are going to ask Judge Tolliver, who's joined us this evening, to swear in a police officer, Abdullah Davranmankel. Did I pronounce that correctly? Yeah, that all right? All right, thank you. Welcome. Thank you.
5 minutes before we get started.
Oh yeah, I will turn it over to Chief Slaver for a couple words.
Yeah.
Why don't you head up there? Let's make sure I want to make sure that you are on the Zoom, so you may need to come back.
You guys are all ready to go. We'll get you in there. I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. With the weather and everything like that, we were throwing a curveball at the last minute. We're going to make the most of this, and I'm going to thank everybody for showing, including my officers in the back there. Thank you. This is certainly an exciting time for the police department, as we welcome 4 new officers to our department. As many of you know, we recently completed our new testing process. Our hiring process is both a competitive and challenging process, which includes written examinations, physical fitness testing, and a series of interviews. All 4 of our candidates have represented themselves well, and we are excited to add them to our ranks. 2 of our candidates will be sworn in this evening. and both have completed academy training and have prior police experience. And 2 candidates will be officially sworn in later this year upon successful completion of academy training. We are grateful for this evening for Montgomery County Common Pleas Judge Stephen Tolliver, our friend, for being here tonight to officiate, provide the oath of office to our 2 officers. I want to take a moment to provide a brief background for each individual as we welcome to the Cheltenham community. First off, the officer Abdullah Davramankel. I got it right again. That's 2 times in a row. Abdullah came to us after serving 4 years as a police officer in the town of Winchester in Connecticut. Abdullah and his wife Caroline recently relocated to this area following Caroline pursuing professional opportunity, and they have enjoyed making Montgomery County their new home. Officer Davramankel graduated from the Connecticut Police Academy in Meriden, Connecticut in April of 2022, and has been working on pursuing a degree in criminal justice prior to being hired in Winchester. During his prior service, the town of Winchester, Officer Davramankel played an important role in establishing the department's firearm training unit. During the background investigation, we spoke to his former chief and the Winchester town manager, who both felt that he would make a solid addition to the Cheltenham Township Police Department. All of his former co-workers and references spoke very highly of Abdullah, his character, work ethic, and dedication to duty. Please join me in welcoming Abdullah to the Cheltenham Township community.
Yeah, can you guys come right here?
Good morning, Judge. All right, now I'm out. We're good. We're good.
Sit down there. Oh, seriously, all right? Raise your hand. Repeat after me. State your name. I,
Abdullah Davramankel,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
the Constitution of the Commonwealth,
and the Home Rule Charter of Cheltenham Township.
and the Home Rule Charter of the Cheltenham Township.
I will uphold,
I will uphold,
obey, and enforce
obey, and enforce
the law without consideration
the law without consideration
to a person's race,
to the person's race,
color,
color,
sex,
sex,
religious creed,
religious creed,
or sexual orientation,
or sexual orientation,
gender identity,
and
gender expression,
gender expression,
age,
age,
national origin,
ancestry,
ancestry, handicap, or disability,
handicap, or disability,
and that I will discharge the duties of my office
and I will discharge the duties of my office
as a police officer
as a police officer
with fidelity.
with fidelity. Thank you.
We're gonna go to our next swearing in, and we'll do some pictures. I'm gonna turn it over to Chief Slavin again for the swearing in of Caden Cooper as police officer for Cheltenham Township by the Honorable Judge Tolliver. Chief.
Thanks, sir. Commissioner, tonight, our second officer being sworn in, Caden Cooper. Caden grew up in Burlington County, New Jersey. Caden is a graduate of the Philadelphia Police Academy and comes to us after serving approximately 3 years with the Philadelphia Police Department. In addition, Caden earned an associate's degree in liberal arts and is a graduate of Rowan College in Burlington County. Caden served with the Philadelphia Police Department in the 15th District in the Northeast Division of the city, and that's familiarity with the Cheltenham community, having served in this area. Caden is highly recommended by his former police supervisors, who describe him as a good communicator, reliable, dependable, and a team player who works well with his fellow officers. All of Caden's references spoke highly of him and felt that he would make a solid addition to the Cheltenham Township Police Department. One of the things I learned about Caden in his background process is that he has a knack for plumbing work. And I'm sure that's going to make him very popular among his. Please join me in welcoming Caden to the Cheltenham Township community.
I'll say I and state your name. Okay, oh, very good, okay. All right, Chief, very good, okay. All right.
I, Caden Cooper,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United
the
States, the
Constitution of this Commonwealth,
Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and the Home Rule Charter of Cheltenham Township.
and the Home Rule Charter of Cheltenham Township.
I will uphold,
I will uphold,
obey, and enforce
obey, and enforce
the law without consideration
the law without consideration
to a person's race,
to a person's race,
color,
color,
sex,
sex,
religious creed,
religious creed,
sexual orientation,
sexual orientation,
gender identity,
gender identity,
gender expression,
gender expression,
age,
age,
national origin,
national origin,
ancestry, handicap, and disability.
ancestry, handicap, and disability.
And I will discharge the duties of my office as a police officer
And I will discharge duties of police officer
with fidelity.
with fidelity.
Good job.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Congratulations. Thank you. Yeah, do some pictures. Yeah. All right, we're gonna take a short break to take some pictures. Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna turn it back over to Chief Slavin for a couple of additional comments.
Just want to let you know, I mentioned 4 officers, right? We had 2 officers sworn in this evening. We have 2 officers in the police academy currently. I'm going to give some information about these candidates as well. Both candidates, Daniel Wen and Michael Feldman, are unfortunately weren't able to make it tonight, but they're enrolled in Temple University's Police Academy, began their training on May 4th, 2026. Officer Wen is a United States Navy veteran, found source after serving as a narcotic agent with PA Attorney General's office. Dan is a graduate of Temple University. Him and his wife reside here in Cheltenham Township. Dan is eager to complete his academy training in October of 2026, start his career with the Cheltenham Township Police Department. Our second officer, Officer Michael Feldman, is also a military veteran. He served with the United States Army for 3 years, followed by an additional year of service with the South Carolina National Guard before applying here to join CTPD. Michael has a local connection as well and is a graduate of Upper Moreland High School. Michael and his family returned to Montgomery County upon his completion of his military service, and he's eager to complete his police academy training, begin his career with the Cheltenham Township Police Department. We look forward to both candidates successfully completing their academy training in October of 2026 and being sworn in as members of the Cheltenham Township Police Department. I'd like to thank the Background Investigation Unit, the Manager Elliott, and everyone who had a hand in the testing process, interview, and screening process for these officers. We found 4 great officers. I'm very grateful for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. All right, moving on to item number 10, another exciting recognition. We are going to present a resolution recognizing Tim Schuck for 50 years of dedicated service to the Cheltenham Fire Company. Tim? Come on.
When you was 10.
So I'm going to present the resolution, and then we're going to come here. I'm going to present the resolution, and then I think our fire marshal is going to have a few words as well.
Okay.
So Tim, this is a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of Cheltenham Township, whereas the Board of Commissioners of the Township, with immense appreciation and respect, we honor Timothy Schuck, a longtime Cheltenham Township resident for 50 years of outstanding volunteer service with the Cheltenham Fire Company. And whereas Tim Schuck, a former graduate of Bishop McDevitt High School, officially became a member of the Cheltenham Fire Company on May 4th, 1976, succeeding his father, who was also a longtime member and past chief of Cheltenham Fire Company. Tim, following his dad's footsteps, held every operational position within the fire company, including lieutenant, captain, assistant chief, deputy chief, and then chief from 1991 to 2003. Tim was also appointed Assistant Fire Marshal for Cheltenham Township in 1984, a position he still holds today. Whereas throughout his 50-year tenure, Tim has exemplified the highest ideals of the fire service, answering countless calls for service, braving hazardous conditions, and dedicating his time, expertise, and energy to saving lives and property. And whereas his long-term devotion represents a lifetime of volunteerism and an unwavering commitment to public service, contributing to a safer, stronger community. And whereas Tim is one of the most active members of the Cheltenham Fire Company, his impact extends far beyond calls for service, setting a profound example of dedication and bravery for future generations of firefighters. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners of Cheltenham Township, duly convened in regular session this 20th day of May, 2026, do hereby officially commend and congratulate Mr. Schuck on the incredible milestone of 50 years of service with the Cheltenham Fire Company. And we have hereunto set our hands and cause the seal of the Township of Cheltenham to be made part thereof, done in Elkins Park, Pennsylvania, the year of the Township of Cheltenham, 127th.
Well, the board's been goes around, Fire Marshal.
Gonna have a few words as well.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening, Commissioners. Take a look around the room with the few volunteers that are here. It's counting in my head, just standing here, probably about 300 years of service combined, standing in this room and sitting in this room tonight. Okay, so it's my honor to be part of this evening's recognition for Tim for 50 years of service. In the Volunteer Fire Company and volunteer service, this is an incredible accomplishment, 50 years of service, okay? Just so you know a little bit about Tim, 2 o'clock in the morning, he still gets out of bed and comes to the calls. He still leaves families dinners and family activities. And again, you heard it mentioned, he's one of the most active firefighters we have at Cheltenham Fire Company. Okay. Tim's been a mentor to the officers, past and present, a lot of the members, and to some of us fire marshals that are here tonight also. Maybe not Joe, but you know. So Tim and I, just something else that wasn't mentioned. We're involved with the VOTEC school and the protective services program, and Tim serves on the advisory board for the programming and part of the education for the protective services for the high school students who go there, police, fire, and EMS. So Tim also serves on that committee. So I got nothing else to say other than just please another round of applause for 50 years. Mister, just so you know, Tim, it wasn't meant, Tim is, he's currently the deputy chief at Cheltenham Fire.
We're expecting another 50 years.
Yeah, just so you know that. All right, so Tim, the township thanks you, and on behalf of the Cheltenham Fire Company, we definitely thank you for your tenure. So you have
We'll do some photographs
real quick, and then we'll get everybody and go out there and we'll do more photos out there.
All right, we are going to resume the meeting with item number 11, presentation of a proclamation recognizing June as Pride Month, and I'm going to defer to the Chair of Public Affairs, Commissioner Schuck.
I'll just take a moment to read the proclamation. There's no vote on this, right? It's just a presentation.
Yep.
All right. To the proclamation from the Board of Commissioners of Cheltenham Township. Whereas in 2010, President Barack Obama declared June to be LGBTQIA+ month, stating, "I call upon all Americans to observe this month by fighting prejudice and discrimination in their own lives and everywhere it exists. And whereas all Cheltenham Township residents should be able to live and work in a safe and inclusive community free from discrimination. And whereas unfortunately discrimination and inclusion continue to exist in the daily lives of LGBTQIA individuals. And whereas on February 15th, 2012, the Board of Commissioners enacted an ordinance declaring it to be the public policy of the township to foster equality and equal opportunity for all citizens, regardless of actual or perceived race, color, age, religious creed, ancestry, sex, national origin, political opinion, or affiliation, handicap, sexual orientation, gender identity, or gender expression in the provision of township affairs, services, and employment. Whereas the Board of Commissioners and township staff remains committed to ensuring its policies and practices do not discriminate on the basis of sexual orientation, gender identity, or gender expression. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners of the Township of Cheltenham, Montgomery County, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, hereby recognize the month of June as Pride Month. And be it further resolved that we recognize the achievements of LGBTQIA individuals and celebrate their contributions to our township and the community, done in Elkins Park, Pennsylvania, under our hands and the seal of the Township of Cheltenham this 20th day of May, 2026, in the year of the Township of Cheltenham, 127th. I will say we will recognize Pride Month here at the Township with a Pride flag raising ceremony on June 1st at noon, right outside here. And yeah, release this and celebrate. Commissioner Shirley Walls also has something to say.
I'd just like to say one additional thing. As we recognize Pride Month, I also want to share that the proclamation is personally meaningful to me as a member of the LGBTQ+ community. Pride is not only a celebration, it is a reminder that every resident deserves to feel safe, respected, and welcomed in our township. Our community is stronger when people know they can participate fully and openly in civic life, and I'm very grateful to live in a place that continues to strive towards that goal.
Thank you both. Okay. Oh, yeah, okay, no, that was my bad. Okay, thank you, Commissioner Sherrico. Thank you, Commissioner Shirley Walls, for your comments there. I'm remiss that I skipped over the adoption of the resolution for Tim Schuck. Even though we recognized him, we do need to adopt a resolution. So I will move for adoption of a resolution recognizing Mr. Schuck for 50 years of dedicated service to Cheltenham Fire Company. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Thank you. Okay. On to item number 12. The Public Works Committee met on May 6th of this month. Commissioner Lewis is the chair of that committee. Commissioner Lewis, you have a couple of items for our consideration.
So thank you, Mr. President. Yes, there are two follow-up items from the May 6th Public Works Committee meeting, but I must say that I was not in attendance. I was on vacation, and I want to take this opportunity to thank the Vice Chair, Commissioner Dan Nars. So thank you.
Welcome.
12A, I move for the authorization for Bowman to complete task 1 and 2, topographic survey and environmental clearances of the design for the next phase of the Tookenny Creek Parkway Trail, Ashmead Road to Ashbourne Road, at a cost of $168,560. Mr. President.
Thank you, Commissioner Lewis. Any comments or questions on the motion? For the public's benefit, there was some extensive discussion about this at the committee meeting, and that is set forth in both the minutes and the video. Any comments from the public? Questions? All right, seeing none, all those in favor of Commissioner Lewis's motion say aye. Aye. Thank you, Commissioner Lewis.
Thank you. 12B, authorization. I move for the authorization for the removal of the overhead flashing red and yellow warning lights at the intersection of Marvin Road and Cedar Road and installation of an all-way stop intersection. Mr. President.
Thank you. We have a motion on the table with many sighs of relief, I hear. Are there any comments or questions from anyone on the board? How about from the public? Seeing some thumbs up, which is always good. so infrequently. All right, seeing none, all those in favor of the motion to authorize the removal of the overhead flashing red and yellow warning lights, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Commissioner.
With no further action, for the May 6th meeting. Mr. President, I move for the approval of the recommendation of the Public Works Committee and acceptance of its regular meeting minutes dated May 6, 2026.
Okay, comments or questions on the minutes for the Public Works meeting from May 6th? All right, seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Thank you, Commissioner Lewis. Item 13, the Building and Zoning Committee also met on May 6th. There is no business to bring before the board, so I will simply move for the board's acceptance of the committee meeting minutes from that date, May 6th, for Building and Zoning. Any comments or questions there? All right, seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All right, moving on to item 14, the Public Safety Committee met on May 13th. Commissioner Brockington, take it away.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. I was not available for that meeting, and I understand that Commissioner Dwight Bader Lewis pitched it for me and did a really, really amazing job. Thank you. That's what I heard.
Doesn't mean it's true.
I'm getting a lot of wink
Say
winks.
that?
I'm getting a lot of wink winks.
We
Yeah.
spent a lot of money though, that.
All right, now we got to approve all that stuff.
Yes.
So we met May 13th, and so we have a few items to vote on tonight. Item 14A, authorization of the advertisement of ordinance amending chapter 285, vehicle and traffic, article 4, schedule of traffic regulations, section 285-43, street and parking regulations of Cheltenham Township Code to add a handicap parking space in front of 314 Topman Avenue on the south side. Mr. President?
We have a motion on the table. Any comments or questions on the motion? How about from the public? All right, seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye. Thank you. We're gonna move on to item B. So item B actually has 4 items, so we're gonna read them all and just have sort of just one vote. First item is this of a purchase order for the following companies to be paid under asset forfeiture funds. And again, I want to thank our chief for always thinking about our budget and being able to do things under this particular way of paying for them is sort of a good thing for our township. Item B, on item 1, King Shooters in the amount of $30,744 to purchase 28 rifle suppressors to aid in preventing hearing loss to the officers. Chief, you want to go into anything with that, or for yourself?
We had a conversation at Public Safety regarding this.
Okay.
This was a suggestion that came up in staff. We had officers who had suffered hearing loss in the past, and this is a way for us to protect our officers while they're doing their training and performance of their duties.
Fantastic. Thank you, Chief. So item 2, Atlantic Tactical in the amount of $5,371.86 for the purchase of a 4-shoot tactical 4-shoot launcher. And then I'll go right to number 3, Tactical Traders in the amount of $93.48 for the purchase of 40mm 12-round bandolier. So you had that issue too.
Yes, I did.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. 12-round bandolier belt to be used with the tactical 4-shoot launcher. And number 4, Northwest University School of Staff and Command in the amount of $4,700 for a sergeant to attend and training. So, Mr. President, we have 4 things that we'll be voting on, all being paid under assets forfeiture funds.
Thank you, Commissioner Brockington. The motion on the floor is to approve these 4 expenditures from asset forfeiture funds. Any comments or questions from the board? How about from the public? All right, seeing none, all those in favor of approving items B1 through 4, say aye.
Aye. Thank you. Now we have 3 items we're under C. Approved for the purchase order for the following companies to outfit our patrol supervisor vehicle. For 2609 to be paid using the police donation account Again, Chief, very good. Thank you very much for doing it, sir. Item one, Habits Inc. in the amount of $10,738.17, and that's just for parts. C&C Technologies in the amount of $7,912.13 for labor. And Traditional Sign Company, Inc. in the amount of $2,600 for the installation of the graphics. Mr. President, I so move.
Thank you, Commissioner Brockington. Any comments or questions on the cost to outfit the patrol supervisor vehicle? All right, seeing none. How about from the public? All right, I don't see any questions there. All those in favor then say aye.
Aye. Thank you. And then I just call for the approval of the minutes for the meeting which was held on May 13th, 2026.
Comments or questions on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Commissioner Brockington. Commissioner Cherico, Public Affairs also met on May 13th.
We had a grand old time last Wednesday. We have three things to vote on today, and let's start with A. We are for authorization of a 5-year franchise renewal agreement between Cheltenham Township and Verizon Pennsylvania, granting a non-exclusive franchise to Verizon Pennsylvania to construct, reconstruct, operate, maintain, and extend a cable communication system in the township in accordance with the terms of said cable franchise agreement. We spoke about all of this and what that means at last Wednesday's meeting. I will make a motion to approve that, to authorize that agreement.
Okay. Additional comments or questions on the motion from the board? How about from the public? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor of Commissioner Cherico's motion to authorize the 5-year franchise renewal agreement with Verizon Pennsylvania, say aye.
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 On to item B, approval of the proposal of KCBA for architectural and engineering services for renovations to the Public Works facility in the amount of $122,525. We again spoke about that at length last Wednesday, what's involved and why we are doing it at this point. So I will make a motion to approve the proposal.
Okay, comments or questions on Commissioner Cherico's motion?
Can we just clarify that that is part of the grant?
It is, yes.
Of course, just thought that the general public would be interested in that.
And we have matching funds for that.
So it is a $450,000 grant and it's 50-50, so we would have to come up with another $450,000.
And did we clarify that that's worth the investment at this time? Okay.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Mandrelli, can you clarify what you meant about the $450,000? Because I only see $122,000 here.
So this is just for the architectural side of it. It's a $900,000 total.
I got it. Okay, thank you for that clarification. Thank you, Commissioner Sherman Walls, for that question as well. Okay, any other comments or questions? How about from the public? All right, seeing none, all those in favor of approve, oh, yeah. No, we're good. Okay.
They're just whispering behind our back.
That's fine. All those in favor of approval of the proposal for KCBA, say aye. Aye.
All right, now we're moving on to item C, the appointment of the following residents to serve as voting members on the Citizens Committee. Number 1, David Michael Kenny of Glenside to be a voting member of the Economic Development Task Force. Tom Estelo of Cheltenham to fill a vacancy on the Library Board. Rachel Banner of Elkins Park to be a voting member on the Historical Commission. Lakeisha Rodwell Green of Elkins Park to be a voting member on the Economic Development Task Force. And Ben Adams of Cheltenham to be a voting member on the Traffic Calming Committee. I want to first, before we do that, vote on that, just to thank all of these citizens for stepping up and doing their part in our township and helping to make this a better place to live. We really appreciate your involvement.
Thank you, Commissioner.
So I would make a motion for those appointments.
Thank you. Any comments or questions from the board? How about from the public? I see Julie Haywood. Thank you. Ms. Haywood.
Hi, good
please.
evening.
Good evening.
Just wanted to comment on the 15C in terms of the appointment of Tom Estelo to the library board. You haven't voted yet. I'm sure you're going to approve him. We're looking for a full complement on our library board with Tom joining the board. We'll now have 7 individuals that are part of our board, and we're looking forward to working with Tom going forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Haywood, for your comments. Appreciate that.
Yep, you're
Any
welcome.
other comment? Yeah. Any other comments or questions? All right, seeing none, all those in favor of the 5 appointments listed by Commissioner Cherico, say aye. Aye.
And finally, just to make a motion to accept our regular meeting minutes dated May 13th, 2026.
Any comments or questions on the minutes? All right, seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All right, excellent. Item number 16, the Finance Committee also met on May 13th. Commissioner Norris.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Finance Committee met May 13th, and there are a couple of items that require our attention. The first is authorization of GFT to complete the FEMA Building Resilient Infrastructure and Communities Floodplain Mitigation Grant applications, and to prepare a preliminary plan for the High School Road Flood Protection Wall Rehabilitation Project. This item has been long awaited to reduce the flooding in the township and was fully discussed at the Finance Committee meeting.
Okay.
I'll move authorization of that.
Thank you, Commissioner Norris. Any comments or questions on Commissioner Norris's motion from the board? How about from the public? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion to authorize GFT to complete the FEMA RIC and DCED mitigation grant applications, say aye.
Aye. I'll go on to 16B, and I'll take these two separately, even though they both relate to flood protection. And that is adoption of the following resolutions, authorizing the submission of the following grant applications. The first application is $300,000 under the DCED Flood Mitigation Program for the High School Road Flood Protection Wall Rehabilitation Project. So I'll move adoption of a resolution for this $300,000 item.
Thank you, Commissioner Norris. Comments or questions from the board? From the public? All those in favor say aye.
Aye. A different location, but similarly to protect our residents from the ravages of excess water in the township. I will move adoption of the resolution for $220,000 under the DCED Watershed Restoration and Protection Program for the Anson Road Stormwater Basin Restoration and Water Quality Improvement Project.
All right, we probably could have used those tonight. Any comments or questions from the board on the motion? How about from the public? All right, seeing none, all those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye. There being no other further items that require our attention tonight, I will move acceptance of the regular meeting minutes dated May 13th, 2026 for the Finance Committee.
Thank you, Commissioner Norris. Any comments or questions from the board?
I was just gonna say, yes, it's very appropriate that we're talking about flood mitigation project tonight with the weather. And it's not, we'll see that the rest of the summer too, right?
Yeah. Thank you, Commissioner Stein. All right, with that, all those in favor say aye. Aye. 17. You did the minutes?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Item 17, as Commissioner Norris aptly pointed out. The pension board met on May 1st. There is no business to bring before the board. So I will just move the minutes from that meeting. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Moving on to old business. We don't have any agenda items for old business, but I'll open it up for the board. Does anyone have old business for tonight's legislative meeting?
The only item that I would bring up, and I guess it could fall under old because it's a continuous problem, but do we have any sense from PennDOT when they may tackle some of the growing sinkholes on our roads, including Church Road?
So Church Road and Ashbourne Road are scheduled for this summer. The project was awarded last year. in the fall. And it was scheduled, for this year. They were gonna start this month. But there was delay on the Pico work on Church Road. So they were out there today doing that restoration. Once that's completed, then the PennDOT contractor will schedule moving in to do both of those roads.
I mean, is there not a way we can ask PennDOT to do emergency patch jobs on the potholes that are there at like Meeting House and Ashburn? I mean,
So,
yeah,
yeah,
I'm gonna drown one of them.
I know Kyle and Bo both reached out multiple times on this. And I do know about a month ago, maybe a little less, they were out on part of Ashbourne Road, which would have been east of Old York Road. I don't know how far down they went, but I did see them out there. It was probably like 9:30 at night. They were doing some pothole patching out there. So again, we're just waiting from them now when their contractor fit the project back into their schedule. They were hoping for June, but we haven't gotten a final schedule from them yet.
Can I add that, oh, sorry, Tim, I have been, reaching out to our, state senators and state reps. And encouraging them to put pressure on as well, and so if any general members of the general public also wish, that is a smart way to advocate for those improvements.
Yeah, thank you for that, Commissioner. Yeah, I think we're all making those phone calls, but yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I was just gonna add up to Commissioner Sherman Wallace's comment. It came up quite often during the election day yesterday.
Yeah.
And Commissioner Brockington and I, who were at Cheltenham Elementary together, were encouraging the residents to do just that, to contact our state senator and state rep. But since Commissioner Jericho opened up the topic, I had a question, Joe. The corner of Washington Lane and Ashbourne, where you turn right onto Ashbourne, where Washington Lane is buckled at that corner. Is that it?
No, that is not included, but Washington Lane is not included as part of the PennDOT paving project. There is Pico restoration that's going on out there. And I do know that the PennDOT representative who oversees the highway permits met with them last week to discuss their restoration and is pushing them to move that forward and get that restoration work complete.
At that corner?
Not at that corner.
That corner's been buckled for
Yeah,
a real long
I know
time.
Bo and Kyle continue to email them and follow them about that issue.
I recall a meeting on that where they said they were going to fix that location. They literally said that location was on there, maybe 2-3 years ago.
Yeah,
Yes.
Bo and I had an email exchange about this because of this word for it, there were some things about this, but he said they actually had fixed that before, but it buckled again.
Yes.
Like you just keep getting the buckles over and over again. But part of the encouragement in that conversation was also to have residents use the PennDOT 800 number and the website, that the more complaints they get about it, the higher up it.
Do you wanna say that 800 number?
Yeah, I can pull up, yeah.
1-800 fix
Yeah, we
road,
put that on the website,
1-800 fix road,
Yes,
is
yeah.
the telephone number.
Thank you.
1-800 fix road.
Yes.
1-800.
For all of the community members joining us tonight, spread the word
They call.
And
and
call.
call.
1-800 fix road.
Commissioner Lewis.
Cheltenham Avenue and Easton Road / Wadsworth Avenue. Absolutely horrific, has been for a decade. Is that on the list at all? Has that been talked?
Didn't they do a study? Wasn't it?
You're talking about in terms of potholes?
Yes.
Cheltenham Avenue?
Yes,
Not Wadsworth.
no, Cheltenham,
So
North Cheltenham.
Yeah, no, I know Cheltenham Avenue, there was a crew on the Philadelphia side today,
Yeah.
not on, and that was more down towards Washington Lane.
Yeah,
But I don't know if there's anything that I'm aware of that's scheduled for Cheltenham Avenue down the other end of it.
okay.
Just sort of.
1-800.
We can go road by road.
Commissioner Stein.
Another, while Mr. Tucker's giving us updates, can you just, for everybody's benefit, explain what is not changing at Church and Greenwood?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently, I was made aware of this yesterday afternoon, and I immediately reached out to the project foreman. We have a great working relationship, and he reached out to his supervisors The contractor gave, I don't know if it's PennDOT or their media personnel, the correct information. Unfortunately, their media personnel interpreted incorrectly and put out that Church Road and Greenwood Avenue would be closed for 2 months. That is not the case. Those roads will not be closed for more than, short duration of, 15, 20 minutes during construction. But there will be no full road closures in that area. The only thing they are doing is shifting vehicles over on Greenwood Avenue from one lane to the other so that they can continue to work on that section. That's it. There's no change in directions or anything else scheduled at this point for that road.
Mr. Stucker, they put out like a correction.
They did. I was informed. I got a phone call today that they put out a correction late yesterday.
Yeah, and it's on the township website, yeah.
Sure.
That caused a panic in the word poll.
Yeah, I can imagine. Okay. Any other old business for tonight's meeting? All right. We'll close old business. We'll move on to new business. Before we get to anything additional from the board, we have a couple of items on the agenda. Item 19A, consider approval of a settlement stipulation between Cheltenham Township, Cheltenham School District, Montgomery County, and the Montgomery County Board of Assessment Appeals and the property owner at 1 Hemlock Lane to resolve a taxpayer-initiated 2026 real estate tax assessment appeal. So parcel number. Mr. Diazio, do you just want to give us a quick overview?
Sure. This is simply a routine residential appeal. There are a number of appeals pending, and we've been working through them. We meet at least monthly with representatives from the township and the school district to talk about the status of the appeals and to try to resolve those appeals. So this one is ready for board approval. Nothing out of the ordinary or significant about it. It's a low impact appeal.
Okay. I will move for approval of the settlement stipulation. Any comments or questions from the board? From the public? All right, seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, thank you all. Item 19B, acceptance of the resignation of Thomas Halpert, effectively, I'm sorry. I thought maybe I did something wrong. Effective April 10th, 2026, and approval of a separation agreement. I will so move. Comments and questions there. Yeah, Mr. Halpert is the former HR director for the township. Comments or questions there? All right, seeing none, all those in favor of acceptance of the resignation say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, item 19C, approval of a settlement agreement between the township and Cheltenham Township Police Association for 2 employees to resolve 2 grievances. I will so move. Comments or questions there? The board. All right, see none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And finally, item 19D, approval to enter into a professional services agreement with Armanino Advisory LLC to provide human resources assistance up to 24 hours per week at an hourly rate of $175 an hour for up to 6 months, beginning on May 26, 2026, subject to final review by the township solicitor, final review of the agreement by the township solicitor. Any comments or questions there? All I'll state is, as you saw in item 19B, we have an opening for in our human resources department in our HR position, and we are utilizing a consultant to fill in that critical position. In the interim, we are continuing to search for a permanent replacement in that spot. All right, comments or questions there? All right, seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Any other new business for tonight's legislative meeting? Everybody's looking around to see if somebody else has something. All right, seeing none, I will close new business and we will move on to citizens forum. Anyone?
We have some
We
here.
have a couple people here in the hall,
Yeah.
in the hall, in the office. That's okay. No, you're welcome to stay here. Why don't we have you come so that people on the Zoom will be able to see you? So you can pull a chair up like at the front here or what have you, and you'll be recognized for 3 minutes. You can stand too, but it may be more comfortable chair.
I'm of age, so I think I'll sit.
Welcome. Please state your name and the area of the township where you live.
Good evening, and thank you for the opportunity to engage in conversation with you this evening. My name is William Taylor III. I'm a board member of Communities That Care, president of the Cheltenham area branch of the NAACP. I'm also a co-chair of Montgomery County, Riley Council of the Pennsylvania Human Relations Commission. Why are we here? It's been reported and personally observed that tobacco stores, smoke shops, and convenience stores are selling tobacco merchandise to underage consumers, our youth. Their sales of activities were reported to the Department of Health and other officials to look into the matter. On an investigation of 42 establishments in Cheltenham Township, 50% were cited in 2024 and 62% were cited in 2025 for sales to minors. The percentage of violations is going up, and filling various conversations with neighbors that something needs to be done at this point in time. Problem is growing. Commissioners, we have a serious problem. It needs to be addressed immediately. I'm going to yield this time to Wendy Rosenfeld, who is a community mobilizer, and she will expand on the issues that we have on us in the township. Thank you, Dr. John.
Thank you. I'm gonna stand if you don't mind. Just okay if you want me to go over there.
As long as they can, the folks will be able to see.
I'll go over
So
here.
you can stand, but right there is fine. Yeah, you're on.
Yeah.
You're good.
Okay, thank you very much for having us this evening. As Will said, my name is Wendy Rosenfeld. I'm a community mobilizer for Cheltenham Communities That Care. I also grew up in Cheltenham, so I have a definite vested interest in this community. As we are all aware from community data such as the Pennsylvania Youth Survey, school reports, and failed compliance checks, as mentioned by William Taylor III, the use of nicotine, tobacco, and vaping products by youth is an existing problem in Cheltenham Township. As concerned members of Cheltenham CTC and the community, we are compelled to begin addressing these issues with you. Our first concern involves age restrictions. November of 2019, Pennsylvania's Act 112, Section 6305 was amended to raise the minimum age for the sale and furnishing of all cigarette and tobacco products from age 18 to age 21. However, as posted online, the current Cheltenham Ordinance, Chapter 273 of tobacco sales, adopted by the Cheltenham Board of Commissioners on November 19, 1996, states, "It shall be unlawful for any person, including any retail business, to sell or furnish by gift, purchase, or by other means any cigarette or other tobacco product to any person under the age of 18 years. The legal age has been set at age 21 since November of 2019. We request a long overdue update be made to the Cheltenham Ordinance, Chapter 273, as soon as possible. This should also be followed by an immediate online posting of the amended document in order to avoid any further confusion and possible false impressions of the outdated information for both consumers and retailers. A second issue that we want to bring to your attention is the number of businesses in Cheltenham Township that sell tobacco, nicotine, and vaping products. Now, Cheltenham is a relatively small but robust community consisting of approximately 9.2 square miles, depending on what source you check. Now, within these parameters, I was going to ask you to take a minute to think about how many stores we have in this area. But as Will pointed out, the numbers go as high as 42. And our recent checks, there are some that have closed down, but there are over 40 retail 30 retail establishments is up to 40 that sell these products, whether they're a convenience store, a smoke shop, or a vape product. That's more than 3 stores per square mile in this community. This makes obtaining tobacco and nicotine products relatively easy, doesn't it? It also applies to youth, since many establishments in Cheltenham do sell to minors. So what can we do? Let's begin by looking at what our neighbor communities are doing. In Abington, all tobacco stores, smoke shops, and vape stores must maintain a minimum distance of 1,000 feet from one another. In Upper Moreland, the same 1,000 feet distance holds and also applies to institutional zoning, including but not limited to public, private, and parochial schools, as well as daycare centers, outdoor recreation areas, and residential zoning. Cheltenham Township currently only maintains a 500 feet distance from any other tobacco store or smoke shop. Cheltenham seems to fall short in safeguarding its residents. So let's work together to change that. Well, unfortunately, we cannot make changes to businesses who already exist and are protected by grandfather clauses. We can impact the future. We request that you adopt and enhance the laws put in place by both Abington and Upper Moreland that keep a 1,000 feet buffer between existing tobacco stores and smoke shops, as well as vape shops. Moreover, we ask that all convenience stores and businesses that sell tobacco, nicotine, and vaping products be incorporated into these boundary restrictions.
Sure, the tell. You're almost.
I'm sorry, I'm going real fast. I'm trying. I just have thank you. Additionally, apply this 1,000 feet barrier between these stores and all types of schools, public, private, parochial, and daycare centers, as well as outdoor recreation areas, residential zoning, recreational centers, and libraries. Cheltenham can set an example for others to follow by not making concessions for businesses that sell harmful products, but instead prioritize safety and prevention. Strengthen the meaning behind the bumper stickers that say, "I choose Cheltenham," by concentrating efforts on keeping our families and youth protected and healthy. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rosenfeld. I just want to acknowledge both Dr. Taylor and Ms. Rosenfeld for not only for their comments this evening, but for the work that Cheltenham Communities That Care does throughout the neighborhood. At every school event that I go to, just about every school event I go to, Wendy or someone else from the organization is there. They're constantly doing events. I think there was just recently an event at the high school. This is an organization that is ingrained in the community and really does great work. And so we appreciate everything you do. Appreciate you coming here tonight. On the two issues that you've raised, it seems to me that the age restriction is a no-brainer. I think I'm seeing nods around the room. I think we task Manager Elliott and our solicitor, Mr. Diazio, to as quickly as possible put in front of us an ordinance change to correct that. Everybody's good with that? Yeah. Okay. On the zoning provision, similarly, I think tasking staff with looking at that, figuring out what the best recommendation is time well spent. That may be a slightly longer conversation, but certainly well worth it. So I think we'd ask staff to do that as well. Everybody okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. And thank you for bringing that before us this evening.
Thank you very much. I also just want to give credit to our police department who's been working with us on this tobacco, vaping, nicotine effort, and Commissioner Stein and Commissioner Brockington also joined us for a meeting to assist. So we thank you very much.
Thank you. Commissioner Norris.
Yeah, I had a question. Dr. Taylor mentioned in his comments that it sounded like incredible statistics on violations. 50% or 65% of the stores have been found in violation. So my question for the table or for our solicitor or for our staff is this something that we can do about that? I'd like to take it as strong as, is there an ability to close down a store that violates it once, twice, or 3 times?
Comment on that?
Well,
If you don't mind.
Yeah, let's have, yeah, that's okay.
Sorry, I just started work on this, so thank you.
Well, and if we don't have a complete answer, we can certainly have staff liaise with the organization to collaborate and try and figure out the best way. Mr. Diazio, do you have
Sure. Yeah, I'm happy to share my thoughts. Certainly when businesses are found to be in violation, they can be cited for that, and there are penalties through the court system for doing that. In terms of whether the board can shut down a business, the answer is generally not. I also do just want to state, just so that the public is aware, Lieutenant Snyder and I have had conversations over the years about the change in the law. And because the law has changed and because the age has increased, we have the ability today to enforce the age 21. And so while I think it is important to make sure that our ordinance follows and reflects the current requirements, the police department can and does enforce the current law. So when you have law that changes and you have an ordinance that is contrary to that, the law overrides. So the laws in effect in Cheltenham Township are age 21. And so we need to make our ordinance say that, but the community should know that as of today, the rules are 21 and the police can enforce 21.
I'd just like to follow it up with one sort of, and that is to ask staff to provide us with some information as to what type of fines or penalties have been imposed upon these stores, and whether they've gone through the courts, whether they've actually paid the penalties, or what the repercussions have been.
I would just say from the meeting that we had with the Senator with that, so some of the courts are throwing out the fines. And because there's some discrepancy in, or it's unclear to the judges who it is that is supposed to enforce this. And there's some, unlike the Liquor Control Board, there's no one at the state, it's the state health department that's supposed to, after 3 times in 2 years, suspend a tobacco sales license, but no one is actually doing that. At the state level. And so that's not something we do locally. So I think it's a question of how do we get, who do we talk to get the state to actually enforce the state law?
Yeah, we need some teeth in the law. 1, 2, who's doing the citing? Where's the citing?
We're citing with compliance check. We're conducting compliance check, and the result of those violations, we're citing the business owners.
And what does that mean and where does that go?
Until they get a citation, they have to go to local district court to respond to the citation.
And that's where it's being thrown out.
Oh, yeah. So once again, call your elected representatives and senators for the state so that they can enforce that.
Maybe there's some information that we can garner at the point of citing that could help the judge enforce the law as opposed to throwing it out.
We did that.
And
It worked.
okay.
It worked or did not work? It did not work.
We were supposed to be witnesses. We worked with the Southeastern Council of Pennsylvania with this, as well as with the police department. And I was reprimanded by the judge for trying to point out that this person had their 3rd violation in 2 years. And they got a minimum fine.
Do other townships handle it differently?
It varies, it can vary, yes, it can.
Well, okay.
Best practices.
Yeah, so it seems that there's a third task for staff to look at in this respect, which is the best practice for enforcement.
Yes.
And you know, come up with recommendations for us. And if that is just, hey, we need state legislation, then we could certainly start with a formal letter from the township.
Yeah.
And if there's more that needs to be done, we could certainly do that as well. But I think if staff gives us some recommendations, we can then act on that.
Yeah.
Andrea, we're good? Okay. And obviously working with Chief Slade and the police department as well. And communities that care.
Thank you for bringing our
Very
attention.
quick, I just want to also thank the Cheltenham Police Department because of these efforts. They've agreed to conduct more compliance checks throughout the year, where previously has been one. We have done two, and our goal is to get it up to 3 a year to keep them on their toes. And Cheltenham Police Department has been extremely cooperative, so thank you so much.
Thanks,
Thank you
Chief.
for all you do.
Yeah, thank you very much.
And thank you for all of you for caring.
Thank you. Okay. Anyone else here in the room? I don't see anybody. All right, we're gonna move on to Zoom. Ms. Welsh, I see your hands up. You may unmute and you'll be recognized for 3 minutes. You don't look like Ms. Welsh.
No, this is Brookie's mom.
Hi, Ms. Camarota.
Hi, everyone. Haven't seen you for a while. Thanks for all the good work you've been doing. I just wanted to do a little bit of follow-up to an event that happened yesterday. I've had a lot of feedback from the neighbors. Some of you may know that the area that the tree that I'm going to talk about. I'm very sensitive about trees, as you all know, and we lost quite a few last year. Too many, 180 of them. And we have a very special tree in the Robertson Park, a willow tree that sits by the pond. And it came down yesterday. And this isn't about crying over spilt milk, because it's more than just spilt milk. And it's more about doing a little bit of follow-up on how this got processed from my observations. And I think that it could have been communicated a little better, and we could have had more of a neighbors discussion about the tree. And I don't think that any of us realized how much that this particular tree, willow tree, meant to us. It gave us shade. It kept the pH balance going in the pond. I know that it looked really terrible, but from what I saw today, it was still strong. And our request was to come to the meeting tonight, because it wasn't to be taken down maybe till Friday. And they took it down yesterday, and we wanted to come to the commissioners and say, can we have another look at this? Because we didn't get all the information. Our understanding was that we'd be notified 2 days before it came down. And we have been making plans. I'm not on the board there. I'm not on the board. I'm just a friend of Robertson. And I speak for myself. And I go there almost every day, and it's a sweet spot. It chills me out all the time. Other neighbors feel the same. And today I realized how shocked people were. I got reports that kids were crying about it. People were, and not just babies. I heard there was a teenager who was all upset about it. The kids go there, there's shade on that side in the late afternoon when they go there after school, and maybe they're fishing, and it's just breaking our hearts.
Ms. Camarota, you're up to 3 minutes, so please wrap it up.
Oh, okay. I think we need to do some follow-up here with the neighbors, because we had been planning quite a bit to take care of. I can't say much more. I'm just really pretty brokenhearted about it, and so is a lot of the other neighbors.
Okay, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
For sure.
Oh,
Sure. So,
by the way, it got really flooded out over there tonight. From Walt Lane to Bent Road was water.
yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, Ms. Camerati. This is in my ward, and so I asked, expecting that you were going to speak at this evening's meeting. I did ask for the arborist report from staff. And I did get it, and I read it, and I want to just read a quick excerpt from it, just to be able to explain what the situation was. So the photographic evidence that the arborist was given by township staff depicts substantial dead wood throughout the canopy, including multiple large diameter limbs exhibiting decline, dieback, and structural degradation. In addition, the tree appears to possess several code-dominant leaders with visible defects and indications of internal deterioration. The reported presence of severe internal decay within the structural leaders is particularly concerning from a risk management perspective. Internal decay substantially reduces the amount of sound load-bearing wood available to support canopy weight and dynamic environmental loading forces such as wind, rain, and snow events. Trees with extensive internal decay may experience sudden limb, scaffold, or whole tree failure with limited external warning symptoms. The overall canopy density and vigor also appear diminished, suggesting ongoing physiological decline and reduced vitality. You mentioned the rain. Mature willow species are widely recognized within arboricultural as structurally weaker wooded species with a predisposition toward decay, especially when located in chronically moist environments such as pond edges and riparian areas. So the recommendation was for that tree to be taken down. I also want to point out that 2 years ago, there was a 26-year-old man that was killed by a falling tree at Melrose Country Club, which is 5 miles from Robinson Park. There was no storm. There was a beautiful spring afternoon. It fell on his golf cart while he was driving the 9th hole. The fact that you tell me that there are children that are there looking at that tree frightens the heck out of me. It frightens me to no end that the tree could fall without any warning. And the children who are crying, we would all be crying if that happened. And so while I appreciate your passion for the tree and your continued advocacy, and I consider you a friend, I will push for every dead tree to be taken down because I care. I was voted by the people of the 3rd Ward, and that's my job to do what I need to do to protect the people of the 3rd Ward, not the trees that are dying. And so I appreciate your advocacy and your concern, but I am so glad today that willow tree is no longer posing a danger, especially after today's storm, to the children and to the families who use the park.
Thank you, Commissioner Sherrico. Commissioner Stein.
I just want to make 2 comments because this borders Ward 4, and there's a lot of Ward 4 residents that use the park. First, it is my understanding that Friends of Robinson Park was notified many weeks ago that this tree was going to come down, and I was told they had time to take clippings from the willow to hopefully propagate them and plant a new willow tree. So it's my understanding that there was a lot of notice provided, maybe not of the exact day, but that it would be happening very soon. And maybe this should just be taken as a reminder that trees are living things. They don't live forever. If we want our tree canopy, we need to work to replace with new trees because we should be expecting to need to take down dead, dying, or diseased trees. And I know our Friends Parks groups, our Shade Tree Advisory Commission, our tree tenders, the EAC, Bob Dominic at Public Works, they are all working to do that in the township so that we can continue to have a safe tree canopy. So while it is sad to lose this particular tree for residents that really enjoyed it, this is something we should expect to be cyclical and happen all the time. And it's our responsibility to keep building the next tree canopy for future generations.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay.
I would like to just,
I'm sorry, Ms. Camerota, your time is up.
yeah, I just want to share with you this picture. I went by there today. Can you see it?
No, we cannot. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
we
you.
were informed that the tree was hollow.
Ms. Camerota, your time is up.
Thank you, Matt. Thanks an awful lot.
Any other citizens wishing to be recognized for citizens forum? Okay. Seeing none, we'll close citizens forum, and it is now 8:55 p.m. And I will call for the adjournment of tonight's Board of Commissioners meeting. All those in favor say aye. Aye.